Working in retail is never easy, especially when you have to deal with a bunch of crazies. Welcome to this episode of Tales from Retail. Our first one is from Blue Moon Dreams. Many years ago, I worked in an old-fashioned department store, going from department to department depending on where needed help. Anyway, it was Christmas Eve, and I was on the jewelry counter. It was about 20 minutes until we closed, and this man comes jogging up to my counter, looking like he was being chased by Cerberus. When he reached the counter, he placed his hands onto it and tried to catch his breath. I was just about to ask him if he was alright when he manages to gasp out, "Present, wife, forgot." So I went, "Oh dear, okay, do you have something in mind?" "No, I have no idea at all." He says, giving me a look as if as another female, I should know what his wife would want. I'm thinking to myself, great, one of those. What do they think, that I can read minds? Out loud I said, "Okay, does she wear gold or silver?" He gives me this really confused look before answering, gold I think." I'm already thinking, this is going to take forever. Does she like to wear rings? "Only her wedding and engagement ring." "Earrings?" "I don't think she has pierced ears," he mumbled thoughtfully. "So what about a necklace or bracelet?" His eyes light up at this suggestion. "Yeah, one of those would be good." "Do you know her birthstone?" I asked hopefully. He shot me a confused look. "What's a birthstone?" I sighed mentally and thought, great, so now I have to explain this too. It's the gemstone assigned to your month of birth. If you tell me what month your wife was born, I can tell you what stone it is. "Oh, that sounds great. Her birthday is in September." "She's a sapphire then." I removed a gold bracelet with sapphire set in it from the case and placed it on the counter before him. This is a classic bracelet. It has all the hallmarks and comes in the box. He hardly looked at it. "Great, I'll take it. Do you do wrapping?" No, not here, but if you ask at the perfumery, they might be able to help you, but you'll need to make it quick, cause we close soon." He paid, grabbed the box, and dashed away towards the perfumery. Our story, however, does not end there. A few days after Christmas, the man returned to the store with his wife. They came over to the counter and the lady asked her husband, "Is this her?" He smiled and said, "Yep." She turned to me and smiled, showed me the bracelet and said, "Thank you so much for helping my husband find me such a wonderful gift. I love it, and he said you were so helpful and kind to him that I just had to say thank you." To this day, this story makes me both laugh from the frazzled state of the husband and feel happy inside from knowing that the customer was so happy with their gift. You know, I'm a big advocate, and I've said it time and time again, it's the thought that counts, and while this husband may have dropped the ball in so many departments, not even knowing a lot about his own wife, the fact that he still thought enough to get her a gift, and the fact that the wife came back to thank the store worker, beautiful, just a beautiful story. This next tale is by TilePlaz26. One retail place I worked at, I liked the bosses. They closed every holiday. They felt being with family was more important. So one holiday that was coming up, for the weeks prior, we had signs posted indicating our hours and we'd be closed on the holiday. After the holiday was done, I came in the next day and saw a voicemail was left on the phone. I pick it up and a woman asked this exact thing. "Hello, I'm phoning to see if you are open today. If you could call me back and let me know if you are or not, that would be great. My number's here." The timestamp said she phoned roughly around early afternoon. Needless to say, I didn't phone her back. I like to think that the lady got the hint after not getting a call back that day, confirming the fact that they were not open. This next tale is from The Trivial Stuff. I happen to be the customer in this interaction, but it feels like it belongs here. I was in a large chain grocery store when out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of a furtive looking man in dark clothing and a hood stash something in the baking supplies aisle, then dash away as if he was trying to evade someone. I went over to have a look and the item was 2 large bags, both full of dead crabs. I quickly looked up and saw the man disappear behind the shelves at the end of the aisle. I stood around for a moment, trying to process this. Does this store even sell crabs? I really hope they're dead, the poor things. Okay, good, they do look dead, at least they're not suffering. Also, what the hell? Then tried following the guy. I went to the end of the aisle where he disappeared and looked everywhere he could have gotten to in that time, and he was gone. So he must have practically sprinted from there. The hoodie he'd been wearing was draped over a display case though. I looked back over to where the crabs were and decided that I had better tell someone, since it really didn't look like he was coming back. So I went back to where I'd seen a woman in a store uniform restocking shelves and walked up to her. "Hi, I'm really sorry to make this your problem, but I've just seen something weird that I thought I should tell someone about before they start to rot." Her making a face that said she has felt several feelings about this, but ultimately probably agreed with my assessment. Okay? So I just saw a guy stash 2 bags of dead crabs behind the flour in the baking aisle and run away. What the fuck? I just gave him those crabs like 10 minutes ago. Where? Show me. I led her over to where they were, and she also did a double take. Yep, there were really a bunch of actual crabs on the bottom shelf next to the flour. What the fuck? Okay, yes, thank you for telling me. Just then, Sketchy Crab Guy suddenly reappeared from the opposite direction to where he'd gone, still without his hoodie. Hi, actually those are my crabs. Very sorry, I'll leave now." He scooped up the bags of crabs, hastily went to pay for them, and then left the store, still moving as if someone might be after him. He never did go back for his hoodie. Talk about a bizarre tale. I mean, I don't even know what was going through this guy's mind. If you got the crabs, why would you stash the crabs unless he realized he didn't have the money for the crabs and had to run and get money? But even then, why leave the hoodie? I'm baffled. This next tale is by Grouchy Old Boomer. I was working the register at my side gig at the local rural store the weekend before Christmas, and one of the regulars comes in. He used to work with me at my main job in a factory a long time ago, so I've known him for a while. He's a nice guy, about 45, give or take a couple of years. Never been married, but he's a little slow. We'll call him Forrest. Forrest loves just hanging out, and he takes his time when he comes in and chats all the employees up, and this time was no exception. He finally came up to the register with some clothes and started talking about Christmas plans, etc. Right behind Forrest is this young guy who's waiting his turn patiently, but Forrest just keeps talking. I try to move him along a bit to keep the line moving, but Forrest, being Forrest, forgot his wallet in his truck and had to head out to get it. I suspend the transaction and ring up the young guy's purchases, and he had about $20 worth of hardware. Then he surprises me and asks me to put Forrest's $50 worth of clothes on his card too. I ask if he's sure, and he gets a big grin on his face and says he's sure. So I ring it all up as he heads out the door and tells me to tell Forrest to have a Merry Christmas. The icing on the cake was Forrest's face when he made it back inside and I told him about it. This is the real definition of the season of gifting. This person did not even know this man, and they chose to go ahead and buy their stuff anyway. I love reading about things like this that show people still have a heart inside. And our final one is from Amy Chat. So this lady was buying Marlboro Light 100s, and when she was asking how much it was, I saw her pull a coupon out of her wallet. This filled me with dread because I know for a fact we don't accept them, and it's always a hassle explaining that to people. But to my surprise, she decided against using it. I felt relieved. She told me she would save it for another time when she felt it was worth it to use it, and I ended up telling her that our registers don't accept them anyway. That's when she told me matter-of-factly, "No, it's not that. It's not that the coupon doesn't work, it's that you don't know how to scan them." I was a little surprised. I told her that actually, when we scan them, the register tells us that the coupon type isn't allowed and to not accept it. She argued with me saying, "No, it's not that," over and over. "Very few people know how to scan them. Talk to your boss, she's really good at it. I just don't waste my time with you cashiers. Most of you barely understand how to do your jobs." "Oh, you're your boss's assistant? Well, I guess that means you need to learn how to take my coupons." She left, and I verified with my boss later that we indeed do not take coupons on cigarettes. But apparently, my boss takes them because this lady is a huge Karen. I at least was happy to know I was correct about our policy. I like how this Karen was so sure that they would take the coupons, that they could easily do that, but so unsure and oblivious to the fact that she's just a giant Karen. Alright, that's enough tales for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tales from Retail. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.